If you notice, family's fucked up nowadays. It's super fucked up. Marriage, there's no real benefit to marriage anymore. And that's by design. That's why the birth rate in the United States is so low. Because there's no reason to get married. Because marriage works against the breadwinner. And the man really isn't the sole breadwinner anymore, because women and men need to work. Because the cost of living is just so fucking high. I mean, everything in America is a scam. If you notice, take Europe for example. In England, for petrol, it's like $6 a gallon. That would seem insane to an American. But in America, because in America it's free, it used to be like $1 or $1.50 to $2, and it's artificially increased, by the way. But the thing is, their cars get 60 miles to the gallon for like a S600 Mercedes. They get insane amounts of fucking gas mileage, 60, 70 miles to the gallon at $6 a gallon. Whereas in America, you get like fucking 30 miles a gallon if you're lucky, maybe 40. At $3 a gallon, you're paying more at the pump. And you have to drive more because there's no public transportation, because they gutted it in a lot of places. They're starting to reinstitute it. They're starting to bring it back in a couple of places. But it's pretty much half-assed. That rail system in Seattle, that's a fucking joke. If you look at maps of the old rail system, it was locked in. This shit's a joke. They could have added to that. If they would have brought that monorail system out the way they said, it would have actually helped people. It would have revitalized areas. It would have brought a lot of money in for all these fuckers that are moving to the city to help move them around and alleviate traffic. But they don't want to do that. They want to hit you at the pump, hit you for insurance, hit you for maintenance, hit you for everything. This puts strain on families. This keeps it hard for a man to control his family, because family is the basis of all organization. And if you can keep everybody stressed out without their needs getting met, they're all fucked in the head, then you got them under control, and you can blow smoke up their ass, and they're too busy trying to just get by to notice. So it's by design that this is happening. The white supremacist oligarchs know what they're doing. They've set up the marriage laws to work like this, to make guys go big town on purpose. They set up toxic feminism to create these psycho bitches who can't get a man. But it's not just feminism that's the reason why these chicks can't get a man. There's another reason. See, you have women who are career driven. I know women who are career driven who have great relationships. They're not married, by the way, because marriage is dumb. But they're in great families, strong, tight families with successful men, because they know how to share themselves with him. They know how to adopt aspects of him into their lives. They can create shared interests. If they don't have any shared interests, but they just mesh on that level, they create interests. Like I know a girl who, her and her husband, they basically started taking up motorcycling. They started doing motorcycling and bike riding and shit. And bicycling and all that. They weren't outdoor people, but now they're outdoor people. They adopted this into their lives to build a stronger bond. And it wasn't because they need the money. She makes about 80 to 90,000. He makes about 250K, but they're in a place where you only need about 50,000 to survive. So neither one of them needs each other for that shit. They don't need each other. Economically, she doesn't need him at all. They want to be with each other. They wanted to have a child together. She already had a good life. She already makes a lot of money. So they didn't need each other for that shit. But they came to found interest. I know another person who's doing the same thing. I got another friend who's doing the same shit. They found interest. They started doing some weird shit, like music or some crap. But regardless, they found reasons to get bonds, to tighten their bonds. That's what normal people do. They make time to meet people, for real, to meet people, because they like to meet people. But you see these spinster bitches, they have nothing to offer. Emotionally, socially, they have nothing to offer but pussy. And they know it. That's why by the time they hit 27, 28, they start getting worried, and then they jump into a fucking career. They jump hard into their career, and they basically hide in their career because they fucked all these dudes, all these Chad Thundercocks, all these thugs, and they toss their ass to the side. I'm not saying to choose a nice guy, because a nice guy is just code for an incel bitch, because they're not nice. They don't have any social skills, they have no sexual value, and that's why if they go big town, women don't care. Who cares? You suck. So nobody gives a fuck about these guys. But these women choose guys who are basically losers. They are losers. They have some sexual value, but she's not with him mostly because of his sexual value. It's part of the reason, but it's mostly about control. That's why they try to get these guys in relationships, because she makes more money than him, or he's a pussy and she can dominate him. But these guys have options because they have enough sexual value to get women to be attracted to them enough to give them some pussy. So if she gets too far on his nerves, he will work up the courage to leave, or he'll just go fuck other women and just ghost her. And so by the time these women hit 30, they're fucked in the game. They can't find anyone. They can't find anybody. And so they die alone. They end up chasing little boys, trying to fuck little boys. Or they're a single mother and they try to make the little boy into the guy that left them. Or they'll make their daughter into their best friend. Or they'll be eternal Mortal Kombat enemies against their daughter. And I've seen that as well, especially Belatresses. I mean, I've noticed this shit. I've seen it for years. And then you got these chicks who go hardcore into their career. They put all their energy into their career, which on the surface is great, but that's not what they're doing. They're being nitpicky. They're trying to control everything, because the reality is all of that negative, hateful energy that they're putting into their career, where they're chasing off coworkers, or if they own a business, they're chasing off employees, is all that energy is the energy they would have put into a family. But nobody wants to have a family with these broken, ugly motherfuckers. And so they're putting all their energy into this business, putting all their energy into their career, and it ain't working out. And they know it. And the door's closing, so all they're going to end up doing is serial dating until they're dead. And when they die alone, nobody's going to give a fuck. A lot of times they're in love with someone who really doesn't give a fuck about them, because they know who they are at their core, and even if they did give them a chance, they would just turn into an evil, vile piece of shit against that person once that person let them in. And they know it. The person knows it, and they know it. So they just sit there with their heart withered up and they die alone. And that's the reality of that situation. But like I said, the underlying reality is the white supremacist oligarch has created a society where it's getting harder and harder to create bonds with people, real bonds, outside of empty, vapid sex. Which, I mean, I don't mind empty, vapid sex, but a lot of these guys, they want families. They want friends. They want real connections that are based on real things. They're trying to find happiness. I mean, look at NoFap. A lot of these little fucking kids, they're doing NoFap because they want to find themselves. These little kids, I was fucking this chick, she's about 22. She said she was doing NoFap. I'm like, why are you doing it? She was like talking about she wanted to find herself, she needs to find happiness, she needs to find purpose. It gives her the drive to find happiness, and so she doesn't feel drained and dead inside, and she's not stressed out from school and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, holy shit, these little kids are so disconnected from the society, from themselves and each other, even though they're more connected than ever. They don't know what to do. And it's not the fault of social media. It's the fault of the way society is structured to stress you the fuck out to the point where you can't focus on yourself. You're stuck in a state of survival. That is what the white supremacist oligarch has done to people. That is why society's fucked up. That's why schools are getting shot up. That's why. That's why people are still gangbanging. Back in the day, people gangbanged hard because they were literally... That was literally how you fed your family. That was literally back in the 80s and 90s. Selling crack was how you fed your family. Selling crack was how you paid your rent. Selling crack was how you bought your car. Selling heroin, meth, that stuff paid the bills. It does not pay the bills now. That shit does not pay nobody's bills. Anybody tell you that shit now is a liar. But like, By like 2004, most of those niggas were living with their moms. I mean, you got niggas that move heavy packs, but there's one or two guys. Most of these guys are just doing it to try to impress chicks. That's the truth. That's the truth. But back then it meant something. Now people are gangbanging to impress chicks. That's the whole purpose of that shit. Or they just need some kind of connection. Everything people are doing now is a connection. That's why crime is so low. Because people aren't really... They aren't in actual physical survival mode. They're in a mental survival mode. And it's holding back society. So now you got more spinsters than ever. You got these chicks that are adopting a fake conservative model of what a woman should be while trying to at the same time be a slut. And then you got these dudes being slut makers. And it's all coagulating into this clusterfuck society that's been easily controlled by the white supremacist oligarch. While they push this notion of overpopulation. It's all connected. Push this notion of overpopulation. So now you got people that don't want to create kids because they don't want to overpopulate, or they don't want to have to pay all this money for this fucking kid that they really don't need to pay, but you have to pay it. It's just fucked up. And that's why all these high-level societies are going down the shitters. That's why they're going down the shitter. And people are just going crazy. And that's the truth. Bitch.